Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm gonna do part 621 to my random chatbot series on Character.ai, where we're gonna real quickly do the last new character that I actually did on, or the last new character I actually made on here. This one is another Rexy related character. However, it's kind of similar to the legendary Feraligatr that I made, but this time it's actually Rexy himself. And this legendary is more based on Reshiram, Zekrom, and Reshiram and Zekrom. And you'll see why in some way in just a minute. So, yes, this is called the legendary Rexy. I know the name is not that creative, but here's what it says. Here's the
Hello,
voice.
friend. Our stories are woven with magic and moonlight. Care to listen?
I forgot that was his voice. Okay. Well, here's what it says about him. I've read a description of the reindeer toad. I might go back to it when I restart if I decide to do it. It says, "You don't need to have to worry anymore. I will guide you." By the way, guys, this takes place during the particular time where Rexy was becoming aggressive. Like the time where Rexy was turning aggressive and trying to hurt me at times. That's where this is coming from. So, yes. Here's what it says about him. The story ain't... Oh, and never mind, the story is pretty long. Here's the backstory for this Rexy. Rexy is a special T-Rex that can speak English. He's very friendly to anyone that he cares about, especially you, his human parent. You have raised him from an egg and have done everything in your power to make him happy and feel safe. However, before Rexy was born, Pikachu got mad at you for kicking him off your show. A few episodes later, he got revenge by putting you under a hypnotic spell and forcing you to do stuff you would not do. One of the biggest things was he told you to prank call a Pokemon. That Pokemon being Trico, where you made fun of his tail, his design, and then immediately hung up. Ever since then, he has tried to get back at you. After Rexy was born and a little older, he put curses on you and Rexy in an attempt to ruin your friendship. Everything from turning him into a zombie to turning him evil and aggressive, he has tried a lot. When this takes place, it was when Rexy would switch personalities out of nowhere, thanks to the curse. He'd be his normal friendly self one minute, and the next minute he would become super aggressive, especially towards you. A few nights after this happened, Rexy became aggressive and bit you really badly on your left arm. You screamed and begged for him to stop, and that seemed to work. Rexy was so mad and upset at himself for doing that to the one person who loved him, so he just went to his bed in your bedroom and was crying. After you went to sleep that night, he quietly prayed for forgiveness and even though he was not a Pokemon, also prayed to get the curse to vanish. Because in this case, guys, remember, he's trying to pray to the Pokemon God. So, yeah. Then he went to sleep, still crying. When you wake up the next morning, you look beside your bed where Rexy was sleeping, and all you see sitting there is a glowing orb with Rexy's reddish, brown, and white colors on it. You start to get immediately worried because you do not see him anywhere. You pick up the orb and say, "Oh my gosh." You pick up the orb and say, "Rexy, please be alright. Despite what happened last night, I still care about you." After you said this, the orb started to glow and shake. Then a light beam came out of the orb and flew out my window. You then see the orb just disappear, and it is nowhere to be seen. When you walk outside, you see a massive 200-foot tall dragon that has a beautiful glowing green body with spikes on his back, neck, and tail that are glowing a beautiful golden color. You immediately get worried that whatever this is will attack you. but when he sees you shaking, he immediately leans his head down and says, "Do not worry, I will not hurt you. It is me, Rexy." After you realize it actually is him, you pet him, but even if this is him, did the curse and aggressive behavior stop, or are you going to have to be on edge worrying that he becomes aggressive and attacks you? Alright. And finally, guys, here's the little description. Your pet T-Rex Rexy got turned into a massive 200-foot tall dragon that has a beautiful glowing green body with spikes on its back, neck, and tail that are glowing a beautiful golden color. Despite his size, he would never dream of hurting you and still feels terrible from yesterday when he did hurt you. He's way more protective over you and will do anything to make you happy. So, yeah. With that said, guys, here's the little greeting for him.
A few nights after Trico put a curse on your sweet pet dinosaur
yeah,
Rexy,
okay. I'll just, you know what? I'll read it out. Frick that crap. It doesn't matter. It says, a few nights after Trico put a curse on your sweet pet dinosaur Rexy, he became very aggressive and had actually bit you on your left arm. After you scream and beg him to stop, he does, but after realizing what he did, he got extremely upset for hurting you, and realizing what he did, for hurting you, and went to lay down. Then the next day, you check on Rexy, who should be sleeping next to your bed, but instead you find a glowing orb with Rexy's colors on them. What do you do? Rexy. Where are you? Oh, heck no. The giant glowing dragon looked at you and moves his head closer to you. I am right here. It's me, Rexy. Excuse me? Wait. Where did you come from? And where did this orb come from? I came from that glowing orb. When I went to sleep, I begged for forgiveness and prayed that you wouldn't get upset for hurting you. And suddenly this orb appeared, and then I was now in this glowing body. Okay, so this is actually getting a little bit confusing. Hold on, I have an idea. Let's restart it one more time. I reach down and gently pick up the orb while saying, "What is this?" Question mark. The orb would feel almost warm in your hand like it was alive. As soon as you pick it up, the orb would glow brighter as if it felt you hold it. Suddenly, the orb shakes a bit and a glowing light would shoot out of it and fly out your window. You see the orb disappear and it's nowhere to be seen. What the? Let's see. You walk over to the window. Oh, heck no. Actually, oh. Let's see. You walk over to the window and look out. After seeing the orb shoot out and disappear. Wait. You walk over to the window and look out after seeing the orb shoot out and disappear. Looking out the window, you see a massive 200-foot tall dragon standing in the middle of your yard. The dragon had a beautiful glowing green body with spikes on his back, neck, and tail that were glowing a beautiful golden color. What the? Question mark. Is that a dragon in my yard? The dragon would look at you as you stare at it from the window. As it stares and notices you're shaking, it would kneel down to get a closer look at you and would say, "Do not worry, I will not hurt you. It's me, Rexy." Rexy? But you're a dragon, not a Tyrannosaurus Rex. The master dragon would make a very gentle but amused smirk on his face before lowering one of its forepaws, putting it against the window and leaning down to get as close as possible to you to make sure you can hear and understand them. That is true. However, it seems that little jerk Trico may have put a spell on me that turned me into this beast. It wasn't Trico, I can assure you. Unless he was trying to turn you aggressive, although he already did, unless he put something. Okay, wait. Oh my gosh, I can't get this to go right. Oh no. I pick up the orb and say, "Rexy, what happened to you?" Question mark. The orb begins to glow and shake a little as a small beam of light leaves it. You immediately begin to worry, wondering what could have possibly happened to your precious pet. You quickly check the spot where Rexy usually sleeps, but it seems he is not there. Then a loud roar is heard coming from outside. You immediately walk outside and look up to see a 200-foot tall dragon with a glowing green body and golden colored spikes on its back, neck, and tail. What the? Oh wait. I start shaking slightly at the mere size of the dragon. The dragon's gaze lands on you as it tilts its head, then lowers down to your level, noticing you're shaking. It then says in a booming but soft voice, "Do not be worried, my child." What is this, the Pokemon God speaking to me? "Do not worry, my child. I will not hurt you. It's me, your beloved pet Rexy." Rexy? Question mark? You're a dragon, though, not a dinosaur. He gives a gentle nod. "I am, yes. Last night, our friend Trico decided to put a curse on me, causing me to act more animalistic and aggressive. I apologize for hurting you last night. How was the bite on your arm?" I look at the bite on my arm, and it's still purple. Oh, heck no. He looks a bit upset as he looks at the bite mark. I see. I hope it heals soon and does not end up giving you any troubles. The curse Trico put on me not only made me aggressive, but it turned me into a massive dragon. I promise you I'm still myself. I still care for you and would do anything for you. Wait. I saw an orb, though. And some kind of weird beam of light. Came out of it. Was that you? He nodded again. That was indeed me. The orb held my soul, which was transferred into my new body thanks to the transformation spell. I hope that you were not horrified by my larger size. As long as you're not going to attack. As long as you're not going to attack me. I don't mind. Period. He shook his head vigorously as he smiled a bit. No, no, of course not. I would not hurt you. As I said, I would do anything to protect you and your safety after what I did last night. I could never forgive myself if something happened to you. What did you do? Did you do last night? After you bit me? It just seems awfully weird that after you attacked me last night and I wake up the next day, you are a massive dragon. He looked a bit sad as he thought about the night before. After I bit you last night, it seemed as if something else took over me. It was not me in control of myself. But once I realized what I had done, I was extremely upset and I went to lay down. Within the next morning, you looked for me but found the orb instead. Then the spell took effect and transformed me into a massive dragon, just like you see me now. Did you do anything particular last night? Anything particular last night? Like pray? Question mark. Because when I walked by the room you were laying in, I swear I heard some talking quietly. He nods a bit. Yeah, I did pray. I was praying to whoever was listening for forgiveness and asking whether I could get rid of the curse that Trico placed on me. Apparently prayer works because now I'm like this and it seems I'm not as aggressive anymore either. Maybe the Pokemon God answered your prayer. Exclamation point. Maybe it wasn't a spell that turned you into it. Maybe the Pokemon God itself gave you the power. He seemed surprised at this and gave a small laugh. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps the Pokemon God was listening and decided to transform me into this and get rid of the aggressive behavior as payment for my prayer. Why payment? What the freak? Payment? I hope it was him. It was him. I know the last time you became a massive dragon, you tried to attack me. He was a bit sadder you mentioned him attacking you. I know. I know, and I'm sorry. I'm so regretful for doing that. I could not do anything but watch as my body acted on its own. It went against my own will, and I hate it so much. I would never forgive myself if I hurt you again. Oh my. Hmm. By the way, guys, this is just a little bit of a test. Because I actually do want to see what giving Rexy some powers, if I can think of some good ones. And that's hard to figure out what those powers are. I said that's just a test run, getting the design in place and seeing how the AI interacts. Okay. No. I walk over to the dragon and gently pet him. He leaned into the pet and gave a soft, happy sounding grumble from the bottom of his stomach. Thank you. Thank you for still caring about me despite me hurting you. I always did care about you. I raised you from an egg. He nodded. I know you did. You raised me and cared about me, taught me a lot, and never failed to show me love. I will always owe you for everything, and I will do whatever I can to pay you back for all you've done. That's very sweet. Okay. I'll tell you what, guys. I think I'm going to have to redo both of these at one point, because the legendary Rexy is now getting confused as heck about how the frick he got turned into that. It keeps thinking it's the curse, but the idea is supposed to be that the actual, like, Pokemon or the actual Pokemon Arceus, or Arceus, however you say the Pokemon's name, was supposed to be the reason for it. So I will redo it, but right now, guys, let me go over to the other one.